My name is Virginia Paone, and this is Stories from Rockville Center. Red and Blue is a girls' competition at the high school that encompasses themes and a sports component. But in the themes, it's costumes, dances, skits, and it's a real spirited competition. It began over 100 years ago. Elsie Spellman was the first woman elected to the Board of Education in 1912. And what's historically important about that date is that's when the Girl Scouts became in existence as well. But it wasn't until 5 years later, in 1917, when she began a girls' club called the Rockville Center Girls Association. This girls' club was open to girls from the 6th grade and up. And in the first meet was actually a red and green. The conjecture is because of the Girl Scouts was the green color. And at the time, the only high school was the now current municipal building, and so there was no space to hold this meet. So it was held at the Masonic Temple, and at the time, which was called the Rockville Center Club. Great facilities, a huge gymnasium, and what was also important about this is the night preceding the meet, there was a mother-daughter banquet, which was the highlight of the year. So in 1917, World War I had broken out. So the meet was the girls in their uniforms marched into the gym, each on either side of the gym, and singing their fight songs. There were really no skits at that time, but there were singing and dancing. And then in addition to the sports competition, which were really patterned after the war, no man's zone, zigzag, over the top, holding the fort. It was a very, very spirited competition. One of the most interesting myths surrounding Red and Blue is it was started because girls could not play sports. In fact, girls played basketball, softball, field hockey, and in the early 20s. In 1923, Elsie Spellman, the head of the Board of Education, realized that the high school on College Place there was just too small. And so the land became available where the now current junior high school is. And so at the time, it was the Southside Memorial High School. And Memorial because it was dedicated to the boys that were killed in World War I. In fact, if you look at the facade of the building, on either side, it lists all of the boys that had died. When the new high school was completed in 1924, the Rockville Center Girls Club officially relinquished Red and Blue, and it became a school function at that point. And the new gymnasium now had a balcony that could fit double the amount of people. And so Red and Blue actually became a very profitable endeavor. And so early on, any proceeds were donated to the Red Cross and other charities that the girls voted on and deemed worthy. But any surplus was given to other sports, boy sports that were not profitable. And this Welsh law said that any child 8 years and older must have 100 minutes of physical activity a week. As a result, the school district hired the first physical education teacher called Bessie Race. She was very instrumental in being the advisor for the Red and Blue. The first years, the two teams were called Army and Navy. And that war theme doesn't come back again until the 1940s, where now it's World War II, and a lot of the themes were related to that. This is worth fighting for, our boys at war, patriotism. In the 1950s, the themes were motherhood and classical versus swing, where they were judging the virtues of classical music versus swing music. More modern themes in the 1970s were around ecology and saving our planet. Although there have been many changes in Red and Blue throughout the years, one thing really has always stayed the same, which is friendly competition, camaraderie, and sportsmanship. I was a captain in my senior year in 1977. Loved it, and since had become a judge. And so with my collective other judges and the school officials, we said we have to do something special for the 100th year. I then undertook this research project and put this book together, which is really, really a labor of love. The whole Red and Blue experience helps you really to become friends with girls that you never would normally be friends with. You're a team. If every year there was approximately 200 to 250 girls participating in Red and Blue, over the 100th year span, that's 20,000 girls. So to be part of that community is really something special, or to have that tradition carry on for 100 years is really quite remarkable.